is Sandman. About to release an album called The Art of Dreaming. Right here doing an interview with Zone26. Um, let's see, a little background about myself. Hail from East Oakland. Uh, been an artist, like an actual working artist since I was 19 years old. I'm 27 now, so I've been, working hard, grinding it out for about 8 years. At this point, used to roll with a group called The Attic with Do That, Yamani, and DJ Treat You Nice. And now, we branched out and moving into our solo careers. And as a youngster, I went to Berkeley High, and so being around Berkeley, you'd always get these, you'd see the flyers and the posters for these performances that are going on. And generally, they'd be like posters for folks who I didn't even know who they were, like the underground cats, and probably ain't nobody heard of them outside of the Bay Area. But when I went to shows like that with these cats, these were, I mean, from my standpoint, these were cats who just let their nuts hang out on stage. The music was your speed or not, you would still be captivated by the fact that they were doing them, and you could tell that they were unapologetic about everything that they were doing, and they weren't trying to emulate, and they weren't trying to recreate, copy, any of that. They were just doing them. Basically, it was just all out inspiring coming up. Now this is before I ever even had hit the stage, right? We knew we could be dynamic through the examples that we had. We would do things like sit in the middle of the crowd. And then as we kept going on, then we started getting more and more into the business aspect of it, where and that's where we started realizing certain things about the Bay Area that aren't necessarily bad, but it's part of the Bay Area culture. A lot of the Bay Area culture is really inside of like this bubble. The Bay Area, I believe, is responsible for a lot of the developments in hip hop, but nobody would know that because it's like somebody else from somewhere else has always been the medium for what we created or brought to the art form. And a lot of that is because from my standpoint, is that there's not necessarily this effort to of a group of folks to come up together. A lot of places get on the map in the first place because they come with this squad of folks that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? This group of people who fall under this umbrella, so that when anybody hears this person and they're stated alongside of this umbrella, then it's already familiar to them, and they want to meet that person halfway to be able to get their music, receive it, and love it. And so that's why Zone26 is dope, because it's creating an artist network where we can all be like, okay, hey, you doing that over there? Hey, you want to come do this? You know what I'm saying? You want to add on this? Can I jump on that? Can I hop on that? Can we? The Art of Dreaming. The album title came along when I was reading these books by Carlos Castaneda. One of the last books I read was called The Art of Dreaming, and it was just it was an ill book to me. Like when going through school and all of that, I never, you know what I'm saying, I like to read, but it wasn't nothing that they was handing me in school, and so I I developed a bad stigma around reading, novels or stories that were written in novel form until I got on my own, and ain't nobody was telling me to read something, and I just got to open up my own library, and so the book was captivating, and it just kept my attention all the way through, and it was so vivid to me, and basically the art of dreaming is from my own standpoint, basically the art of, taking your dreams and putting it out there, and becoming your dream, as opposed to it just being like a temporal thing or something that you just hold in your head while nobody else gets to know, what you want to say or what you have to say and how you want to say it. So the art of dreaming is it's really just this presentation. Look, this is my dream, and this is how I see it, and I want to share with all of y'all. And there's an art form behind it. You know what I'm saying? There's an art to it. Even when it comes down to, I even think of life in the context of being in art form. You got to be an artist when it comes to life. Just with everything that pops up, the ways you got to adapt to things that get thrown at you. like you got to be an artist. You got to be, you know what I'm saying, know how to create at a moment's notice sometimes, you know, and able just to uh, make it to the next day. Um, and so the art of dreaming is really just like a testament to my own life in life period. And I thought it was perfect. One of my favorite, well, I got a few of them. I'll say one track that is my favorite, and I think it was one of the most inspired tracks on the album. It may not be, I don't know if it's the most commercially viable or whether folks receive it a lot, but Ooh Wee was a track that came like that. It was produced by Yamani, you know, who was part of the Attic. And I remember just hearing him play the beat out of his room. He had a workstation in his room, just hearing him play the beat. And I remember coming in and just feeling, just started rhyming right there, and the whole song just came to me right in that moment. It's not often that happens. Like sometimes songs just you have to be patient and let them develop as you go. But it just seemed like it all just dropped into my head right there. And I remember coming in the studio the next day, asking him like, "Hey man, can I rock that beat?" He was like, "Yeah, go ahead." Coming in the studio the next day, and in an hour the whole song was done. And so, you know, it's one of my favorites because I like the way it sounds and I like what I'm doing on it. But then at the same time, it's like it's one of them inspired tracks. Like, damn, that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even have time to think about where or what was coming. It just came, you know. And I enjoy music that comes like that because it's like it kind of reiterates the fact that, you know, what you're doing is beyond yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know even how much I was. Or at least, you know, ego-wise, I was involved in the creation of that track. I feel like I was like, something just came through me, and I put it down. So that's definitely one of my favorite tracks on the album, Ooh Wee. And then I think another one of my favorites, not necessarily to listen to, but to because of what I'm doing on it is Here and Now. It's just something different than what I've ever done before. And it like you know what I'm saying, I had never been on a track where, you know what I'm saying, I'm stacking my own harmonies up inside of Pro Tools to create like a vocal resonance over a chorus or something like that, and it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also when I first put it out, I didn't necessarily know how folks would receive it, and folks were like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love it, especially women. Look, women more than men, I noticed, but for whatever reason. And so yeah, in terms of favorite tracks, oh yeah, Will Bracey made the beat for Here and Now, and you know what I'm saying, I'm kind of upset because I didn't get the I like the production that he gave me, but you know what I'm saying, I didn't get the best of Will Bracey just yet, but you know what I'm saying, stay tuned. So I wanted to introduce one of the producers who produced 2 tracks on The Art of Dreaming. This is Will Bracey, producer extraordinaire. One thing that's interesting about Will is that you think you got one of his top beats, and then he comes back with another one that's, you know what I'm saying, just destroys the other one. You hella mad at him because, you know what I'm saying, it's like, Blend, I thought I had the top shit. But, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't go down like that all the time. But he keeps getting better. Dope musician, dope thinker, and, you know what I'm saying, he has a prodigal mind. So, you know what I'm saying. Will, could you tell me, you know, I haven't even asked you this. So could you tell me what was the inspiration or what was the reflections you were having while creating the tracks for the album? Like specifically Here and Now. Cause like I think about what that song inspired me to do, which was kind of left field for myself, you know what I'm saying? But it still came out like dope and viable. So yeah, if you know what I'm saying, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Here and Now. I think we're Here and Now. I just started teaching myself piano. So around that time, I was really just experimenting, and I was really getting into bass lines. The bass line came to me, and I just kept going with it. I put a progression over it. I was really digging it. Put some drums to it, played it for Ed, and he loved it. And we just went from there and made magic happen.
Check. I'm from the streets where the thief is always online. My pops made a life in law defending small crime, clocking small time. I'd watch inside of my small mind to grow to a brain child talking in all rhyme. I'm from a long line of folks you'd have thought high of don't bring a knife to a gunfight type of survivor. Type that I'ma be for as long that I'm alive for, and you know for as long as you follow the rhyme for that of the rap genre. I'd like them to honor me not through Grammy Awards or being a nominee, just heard and respected from Oakland to Hannity, and in between the haters that break them like minor key and with the asshole club promoters spike the fee, or else I wouldn't even try to show the likes of me. And that's for real though, when finding me, this is what I feel for. The thief is always online, and this is why we steal shows. It's a cold, cold world in case you ain't know. You gonna wanna want it just cause it ain't yours. Get yours. Get yours. Get yours. Sandman, The Art of Dreaming. Jared, Ramadan, James, horn players extraordinaire. Zone 26. Thank you. Thank you, Zone 26.